And welcome back, Firewood addicts, to another episode of Travis Does Firewood. The sun is shining, birds are chirping, spring is upon us. It is awesome. So, if you weren't here last time's episode, I went ahead and got that tree, that limbs, top branches, whatever you want to call it, from the other side of that space. I got that. These rounds over here, they're still not bucked up. I mean, they're not split up yet. They're still here. So I believe that's alder. Even though the skin looks like, or the bark looks like cottonwood, but the leaves on that tree, I believe this is alder. And alder, I don't think is very. It's in other places, but I'm pretty sure this bark is alder. So a leaf tree. So, but still, I believe a softwood. So not that great, but hey, free is free. I've been getting questions on the channel about low inventory, and I sell firewood, getting new contracts. I think your best bet is if you have current contracts or new contracts, and you feel confident that you can fulfill those orders, or you wanna build your firewood business or your firewood hustle, I would say yes to those contracts. Say yes, and then get yourself in gear, find the means, and get inventory. You may not have the inventory in your yard, but if there is firewood, trees, rounds in your area, get on Craigslist, get on Marketplace, get an offer up, find wood, hopefully on the cheap, and flip it. Even if you break even, or maybe you go backwards a few dollars, you still maintain contracts. Get those sales in. Either it's bundle wood, it's barbecue, it's smoker wood. If the person likes you and whatever you're doing, but you don't have the inventory, get wood, get it now, and then flip it. I think there's money to be had in flipping wood. Either you can resplit the wood, or you buy a cord and you make a whole bunch of bundles and you make double your money. Do it. Just do it. Try it. I don't think that there's much risk involved, because firewood always sells if it's quality stuff. Now, if you're buying crap, you're buying punky wood, you're buying crappy wood, you're buying dirty wood, that's a different story. So make sure that hopefully you can buy it on the cheap, and then it's quality enough where you can go turn around and flip it. Now, the people who you're buying from don't necessarily need to know. They can probably figure it out, but it's none of their business. As long as they make their money when you're buying inventory, that's fine. If you want to tell them, that's on you. And then you go ahead and tell your new contracts or your current clients, hey, I'll get your wood by Thursday, and get your budding gear on a Monday. Get inventory in your yard. Either resplit it. It's going to be either semi-seasoned or seasoned, whatever you can find, and be upfront with them. But I think there is money to be had in flipping firewood. Even if you do break even, you still can fulfill those orders. So hopefully next time that customer, that client wants firewood, they'll come to you, and hopefully by that time you have had inventory in your yard that is ready to go for them, that you got for free from a tree service, from an arborist, or you went into the trees or in the woods and found a down tree or two and bucked those up and split it and processed it. So then you're now ahead of the game. So that's my advice on that. Today is gonna be something different. Let me switch gears in today's episode. You saw a few episodes ago, I tried to buy a Countyline 4-way wedge and try to put it on my Champion 27-ton transformer, and that did not necessarily work. So I tried it. It didn't work. It's over here. Let's check this out again. There's the 4-way, and there's my single wedge. Around my Champion right now in the backyard. So the issue was when you try to slide this over, it's just not it can't go over the edge, the outer edges of the single wedge. It's just not gonna fly. Even if we get right in there, the tip is fine. It's just these bottom edges here, this outer edge, need to flare out. You flare out some. So what I tried to do here, I'll just show you what I tried to do. So in my garage, it is a cluster F, so don't judge me. So what I did is I'm at my vise, right? This is my vise, Harbor Freight special, and I put this. Let's see, not like this. I put the 4-way wedge on end like this. Okay, so it's in between the two jaws. Now, what I was thinking about doing, and I tried it, is to extend the jaws. There we go, outward. Right, like this. So as the jaws go outward, I was thinking about that it would expand this edge to be flared out further. So with two hands, I did this. And it was precarious, and I wanted to make sure that as I was going outward with the jaws, and this was expanding outward like this wouldn't fly off, right? So I tried to tie it on. When doing so, I messed up this part of the vise. So now this bolt here is now bent. I get a new one, a hex head, and so this is bent. So then that idea did not work. So let's go on to plan B. So I wish I knew how to weld. And I mentioned that a few times on the channel. I'm not a metal worker. I have grown up working with construction, lumber, wood. I can do nails and screws, can't do anything with welding. But anyway, so I'm at the wedge here, and I think it's not expanding with the vise because of this piece right here. Okay, this cross piece, which is welded at this point right here, and then on the other side, this point right here. So if the connection here was free, and this connection here was free, in theory, wouldn't this allow these two pieces to be able to flare out if they were so in tuned? If they were coerced, couldn't that be the case? So that's my plan B right now, is to take a cutoff wheel and see if I can grind out those two welds on both sides and see if that will do the job. So let's try it out. So went from grinding wheel to cutoff wheel to grind down the welds on the wedge, and then the cutoff wheel to make it so that those two pieces there are separated. So my thought process is to separate this top piece from the bottom, so this is not going to hold back these two edges from flaring out, expanding, if we put it on my single wedge. I will say I nicked it. This is the first time I'm using my log dogs, or whatever you call this. I don't foresee me using this, but it's just kind of handy tool to have around if you're into firewood or cutting up rounds. I don't foresee me needing to sharpen my chain in the field, but I have this, and it's coming handy. So I got it for Christmas, and this is the first time using it. So thank you. I think this is for my parents. So now maybe you may be thinking to yourself, Travis, why cut into this? Why grind into it? You can just return it. Well, I am past the point of no return on this. So I can't return it. I have nothing to lose. I could resell it on Marketplace. But I'm gonna get like maybe half of what I paid for it. So I might as well try to modify this wedge to see if I can still use it. Worst case scenario, I send it to Tony, my new friend who is letting me borrow his Echo that's ported, and I'll send it to him as a thank you. So, because he can metal work and fabricate and weld, and he has a single wedge splitter like I do, and if I can make this work, then I'll send it to him. Yeah, no harm, no foul. It's what it is. So let's try to get this on my single wedge and see if it works. And we need to bring some persuasion. All right, so we're here at the splitter, and I'm trying to see if I could get this to slide now, and no, it's not gonna happen. Even if I try to pound on it, it's just they're still not. Yeah, so I mean, I think it's still good that I cut these so they're separate, but I mean, to get this on and over is a different story. So let me think about this for a second.
2,000 years later.
All right, so I am back weeks later since what the fitters that you just saw. A lot has changed in the yard, obviously, from then until now. So the modifications that I did, what you just saw, didn't work. So I ended up, honestly speaking, I sent that wedge to my buddy Tony, who sent me his ported Echo to borrow. I sent it to him. He knows metal. He can fiddle with it and get it on his splitter, because he has a single wedge, just like the Champion here. But fast forward, someone randomly watched that episode where I was trying to get the wedge on without modifying it, and he's like, "Why don't you modify it further, put it slip it on the current wedge, and then use a piece of like a round and force the four-way onto the single wedge." And I think to myself, well, that would work, I guess, but then if it's forced on there and stuck, then I can't get it off. But I'm willing to try. So what I did was I bought another one. I bought another one just try because I want to make sure that I can use this Champion to be more efficient as possible. If I can have one pass and make 4 pieces of wood versus one pass and make 2 pieces of wood, I can be more efficient with my current log splitter, because buying another one right now is just simply not in the cards. I'm more likely to buy a new chainsaw than I would be to buying an upgrade, thousands of dollars of a newer splitter. So here's what I'm thinking. So here's what the viewer, I think, was thinking about. Bring you over here. So this is the wedge, unmodified, brand new, out of the box, right? You saw the unboxing earlier. So what he's thinking about is I need to put it on the face here, side it on, and then force it. So I have the lever, and then force it on the single wedge with a round. Currently that's not going to work. So what I think I'm going to do right now is I'm going to modify it again. I'm going to cut here, the welds off here again, and then around here, and then I'm going to cut this piece here, so this face is flush down. There's nothing here, so nothing can impede. So this, in theory, can just still slip on like this, and then be forced on. So I'm gonna say this now. I'll say it later. I'm not recommending anyone do this. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know if it's gonna break my machine long term. I'm not sure if this is gonna fly off and hit my face. I hope it doesn't. If it does fit and it's working, I want to see if I can drill holes into both sides, and then tap a bolt thread in here, and then to make sure that I can bolt it and kind of push on both sides on the single wedge, so it's more or less more secure. Possibly if I can figure it out, to make a strap and weld it, because I mean I have welded before, I'm just not very good at it. So if this was working, I can try to modify it again and then make a strap to go around the back side of the single wedge, so it would be more secure. I don't know. We're gonna play this by ear and see how it goes. I have no clue if this is gonna work, but I was intrigued by the comments. So person who had the idea, if you're watching, thank you in advance. We'll see how this goes. Worst case scenario, I get hit in the face. That would be bad. Another worst case scenario is this does not work, and I'm out another $70, $80, and I could sell this on Craigslist, I don't know, for 20 bucks. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna try it. So I'm gonna cut it right now. You don't need to watch that footage. Yeah, so I'll just cut it right now, and then we'll go from there. All right, so this is cut. This is modified. This is the piece that I cut off. Right here, this was like this, and now it's off. So now this face is flush, more or less. So, moment of truth. Let's see if this will fit. Let me get in place here. So we're going to, okay, so that, now we'll go on. I don't know, hopefully you can see with the shadows. So it will go on the face. Won't go back any, but at least it's, yeah, it doesn't sit high enough. That should be okay. But yeah, so, and it's still okay here, down here, so it won't catch on the bottom. So, and it's as far back as I can push it. So now, if you weren't following earlier, the plan of attack is to try this on, put a round in here, and then as I'm cutting the round, this will be forced back here. So I'll put you on the stand, get this fired up, and we'll see if this is gonna work. I'll be careful, I promise. Holy moly, did you see that? It worked. It totally worked. It's not secure on the single wedge, but it definitely pressed itself into the single wedge, and it split smaller pieces. One pass. It did get stuck in the round because this is not secure to the single wedge, but it worked. And I mean, I had my headphones on, but I didn't feel or see that the 27-ton struggled. Granted, this is cedar. I got this yesterday, and it's definitely wet. And I mean, cedar is not that difficult to split, but this is knotty cedar though. This is not straight grain, this is knotty cedar. So that's cool. It worked. Oh my. So now I need to figure out, I mean, I could run this all day long, just have it be chilling. just kind of floating on the single wedge, but I want to figure out a way to secure it. That would be ideal. So there's not enough metal, even if I did a hole and self-tapped like right here, there's not enough metal to press in where it would actually stay. I would need to have another strap, kind of like the one that I cut off, to go on the back side here. Somehow I need to add more metal to it to kind of go around. That may be a chore. I don't know if I had the I don't think I had the capabilities to do that. And then if I find someone else to help me or whatever, I need to make sure that this gap between the wedge and this a block plate is not impeded. So it would have to be very close to here to make sure that it would stay on there and be safe enough to work. But that's cool. I mean, I guess I could just let it float the whole time, you know, type thing, and then if it gets, and then just make sure that it's not sucking wood for now. I guess that would work, and play with it. I don't know how that would go, but I don't know, folks. I don't know. I need to. It will work in here, but it needs to be in this channel more. I need to force it now back in. This is definitely not the ideal situation for this wedge. Definitely, I mean, obviously not made for the Champion. This is made for the Countyline. So I am doing something that is definitely to void the warranty. I'm not recommending you do this. This is just a video of information, and you do with it what you will. I am not I'm not responsible if you do this and you can't get your money back to return this, you get hurt. I'm not liable. I'm just saying this is just, I'm trying an experiment and it's working, but there needs to be some modifications. So yeah, I need to see how this right here, it has to be in, so it's on the inside of this channel, to be like a long-term potential solution. So yeah, I wish Champion made 4-ways. That would be just so simple, easy. Just put it on, slap it on, and go. Yeah, I guess for now I'm gonna have this to be floating. Have to be floating. So I guess let's try some more rounds and see how it goes, shall we? So it works, but did I just waste like $70 and my time by modifying this, and it doesn't even like really fit on there, and it's just like there. I mean, definitely I can't return it because I modified it, that, and all the paint's gone. You see the paint. The wings seem to be fine. I wish they were a little bit like wider, but maybe I'm so used to watching like 4-way wedges, other wedges being longer on machines that are made for it. I didn't hear the Champion bogged down enough where like she sounded like she was in distress. Like, yes, I think it bogged down in a few pieces, and that may or may not have been because the 4-way was on and it was trying to push through the 4-way. But first I ran through the rest of the red cedar, then I went through apple, and then I went to some cherry. So and the cherry I think is drier. They're definitely drier than the apple. So as you may know, wood that is drier or seasoned is harder to split. So I definitely put it through the test. This is not an exhaustive test, just like on demonstration, just to see where it goes. I think you saw at the very beginning, I attempted to have, let's see if you can find it, this strap, or somewhere in here, and yeah, this strap I salvaged off my daughter's car seat to kind of have some sort of latch, and I used self-tapping screws on either side to hold the strap in, and then I went too far back and it sheared off one of the screws. So then I take it apart, and it's just one of those things. So I need to make sure that if I'm going to use it, have it where it's going to stay upright. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's nice to have the option, and then I can just quickly go from 4-way to single and just take it off and then put it on the ground to split for single for a second, like you just saw, and then I continue. So I don't know if this is safe, if it made sense. Is it too much fiddling around, having to hold it, and then where it hits the log or the round, they will stay, and then having to stand back, make sure it doesn't fly out. I don't know. Am I crazy? Was this a waste? You let me know down in the comments. I think it's something different, but if it's something that's going to work, did I just make my single wedge Champion splitter into a 4-way? As I save money to buy a bigger splitter? I don't know. Time will tell. Let's see if I can use this again when I'm actually splitting. Right now, this is all demonstration, like I said. So let's use this in the future, splitting, and see if it's actually worth the time. So we're going to give it a test in a future episode. But yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Until next time, rock and roll, stay safe, keep cutting. Cheers.